Hello crafters, and I'm James Hembrow here on the Hobby Maker tutorial YouTube channel, and I'm just going to share with you a few very quick and basic blending techniques using dye-based ink pads and water to create some little sort of smooshing backgrounds, for what I like to call them. Using some distress inks and some Simon Hurley Crate inks, just some very simple different coloured water backgrounds that you can create really simply. I just thought it'd be really fun to have a look at this as part of our stamping and ink intro, just to show you what else you can do with those ink pads that you've got as well as stamping. So this is really fun. There's loads of different techniques you can do with this, and I'm going to go in with a series of distress inks now that I have got here, and we may even use some distress oxide. And what I'll do, because I've got the same colours here, I'm going to go in with the colours that we were using. So I've got here Wild Honey, I've got the Fossilised Amber, and all I'm doing is actually applying the ink straight to my craft sheet, upside down, and I'm just using it, vintage photo here, as a form of the fact that I've got some colour on my craft sheet, just like that, as simple as that. And I could even go in and add some more colour in a minute. Now I've got some tap water here, just in a sprayer bottle, and I'm just going to slightly spritz my craft sheet, and you can see all of that dye-based ink really energising. Now again, there's loads of videos out there, and I know Tim Holtz is the master with the distress inks. That's his fantastic colour palette. By all means, have a look. There's 1001 techniques, but this is purely thinking about it from our little tutorials of building up, doing a series of what you can do when it comes to stamping and inking. And I think this is a technique that would be really amiss of me if I didn't include it. So I've just got some white cardstock here. I'm just going to give it a little spritz of water on both sides. Now all I'm doing that for is just to sort of pre-arm, if you like, the cardstock. It's going to stop it curling because it's going to get quite wet now, and I'm just going to lightly tap that down into my project in a couple of different ways. I'm going to pick it up, have a little look, and then what I'm going to do is actually let that dry off. Just going to pick up a little bit more there and there. And this is a project that you tend to want to build up. So what I would do is then heat that with my heat tool that we had previously, build up the layers. So let's just do that and just gradually build that up slowly. And because all of the dye-based inks are translucent, it means I can turn around and go back in and add more layers of ink over the top of this piece that I've done here. So I'm just going to mop up, just for quickness, that little bit of ink on the edge where there's a little bit of excess, and then I'm just going to go back in with another layer of ink like so, and it's just going to gradually start to build up these little splotch and spatches like that, and I can go in, dry it, build it up again and again and again using exactly the same technique. I can keep going till all that ink's gone. I could even bring in a blue and other colours, but this is just another technique that you can use with any dye-based ink pad. So it could be some of the Simon Hurley Crate ink pads, anything that's water-based and dye-based ink will turn around and give you the ability to create these really striking and stunning backgrounds. And over the course of time, we're just building that up. I'm just going to mop up the excess there that I've got, turn around, and over the course of a few minutes of just building that up, using different colours, you can create something that looks like that when it's completely dry, or even something like that. Just choosing different colours, bringing in a bit of the salty ocean, or maybe going in with some darker colours there. I've even gone in with a white ink pad over the top that's water reactive, and you get some really striking different backgrounds. Now what you can do with that is you can turn around and build that into loads and loads of different projects. So whether it's something like some little tags that I've done here with the backgrounds just to create a little bit of interest, and I've even gone ahead there and created some die cut birds there out of this darker cardstock, and then I've gone over the top with a background of exactly the same as this. But the reason I've made that an awful lot lighter is, if you remember, I've gone over the top with a dye-based white ink pad which is translucent, and it's softened that whole area and made that background a lot lighter from the birds. So again, it's going in with something like the picket fence colour from the distress ink pad that we've looked at in the previous videos, just to create those backgrounds. So that's looking at inky backgrounds very, very quickly, because there is literally, again, another 1001 techniques just using this type of, now I'm probably not exaggerating, using these techniques that are all out there, but it's just really to kind of put a mark here to say, this is something else you can do yet again with your ink pads in terms of this type of technique, creating backgrounds and even creating papers to cut your die cuts from. Well, there you go. Really hope you've enjoyed that. I know it's lots to take in, but it's just to spark some creativity, give you some really different ideas, just how you can use the stamps and ink pads, maybe that you've already got, but how you can use those in different ways, exactly what they do, and just to give you some different techniques. But go out there, get creative, have a go, and above all, make sure you keep on crafting, and obviously make sure you hit the like and subscribe below, hit that bell, and then we will keep you notified next time there's a brand new video dropping.